Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going to talk about basically builds and the type of characters they are. So you can actually analyze this really much further. So for example, there's a bunch of stats here that really can show what they do, and for example, you think, oh, there's four types, right? Morale, right? We got overpower, and then we got technique, and then we got assault. But let's divide these characters and show you what they actually do. So for example, there are two different types of characters in the game right now. There's SSRs, right? There's SSRs, and of course there are SRs. So these SR characters are less special. Their potential is much easier to get. They're way more common. They're like 6 times more common than the SSR. So you can get a lot more potential on them, right? So, like to kick things off, first of all, no character is the same. What I mean by this, in each class, they're all different. For example, Zombie Man, Assault Breaker. I don't see any Assault Breakers here, right? I don't see any Assault Composure Breakers. Maybe in the SSR or the SR, we will get a Zombie Man, or sorry, not Zombie Man, a Composure Breaker. So basically, there's again 4 types of characters: Assault, Morale, Technique, and Overpower. But there's also 4 different types of, I'm gonna say, character archetypes. For example, we go to arms here. We can see this from their top arms. So this guy is a healer. This guy is a damage dealer. This guy is a composure breaker. This guy is a composure breaker. This guy is a damage dealer. This person right here is a immunity, and this guy's immunity, right? So if you're looking at this, none of them are the same. For example, for SSR, since there's 4, we can only assume that there is going to be a healer, a damage dealer, a composure breaker, and a immunity for every single SSR overpower. And then for the SR overpowers, we can see that there's a healer, and there's a composure breaker, and then there's also another sorry, not this guy, sorry. There's an immunity here, and then what does that mean? The next overpower SSR is going to be a damage dealer, right? Let's see here again. Let's see if I got that right. Yep, damage dealer. So if we have another SR overpower character, we're going to be getting a damage dealer. That's how to calculate what kind of role they play on the team, and how you can mix and match each different characters to really fit your team, right? So like this guy is a healer again. This guy's a breaker right here, and then we have another overpower type, or sorry, technique type, which would be, let's see here, Sonic, I think. Where's Sonic? He's a damage type, right? So again, next thing would be immunity. Immunity would be for technique. And then if I keep doing this, right, I can find out which characters are going to be which. This guy is an assault, right? He is a composure breaker. She is a immunity, and Fubuki is a healer. So we're going to be getting a damage dealer assault, which definitely seems like either Arms Genos or Metal Bat. But we're not here to speculate what their roles could be, because I think I made a video on that one. What we're going to do is, I'm here to show you guys how you guys can mix and match each one of the characters and really build a team, right? So if we're going to go to the builds here, sorry, now we're going to go to stats, right? If we go to gameplay and we go to skill list, you can also see how to find out what they truly are as well. For example, here there is like impassion characters, there's passion characters, there's negative crit characters, there's crit rate characters, and there's impassion characters, and then there's damage dealer characters, which are kind of like impassion characters but positive critical hit, right? So let's go right into this one. First of all, we have Bang. Now you might assume he's a tanky guy. Yes, he is. You can see SSR exclusive quality, impassion level limit +2, start of the battle, affixes provide an attack percentage, bonus exceeding 100%, each excess 1% provides yada yada yada. So this shows you that he's an impassion character. It literally says affix impassion, right? Another character that is an impassion character is Puri Puri Prisoner. I don't currently have him, but I can tell you this much: his exclusive quality is similar to Bang's, right? And this only shows you for the SSRs. I'll tell you how to tell for an SR, but the exclusive quality is right here. And now we're gonna go to Saitama. Saitama is, guess what? If you look here, I have an impassioned character. So Saitama and Silver Fang are impassioned characters. And like I said, if you paid attention, I had 4 different types of characters. For example, negative crit hit, passion characters, damage dealers, passion basically, and crit. That's 4. So if there's 4, guess what? There's only one of each type. So there can never be a passion character in SSR for the technique type, right? So I'm gonna look here. What is he? What is Sonic? Or sorry, Atomic Samurai. Composure reduction. What does that say? Composure reduction. Sorry, breakers. So I may have messed up there. I think it's crit hit, breaker, negative crit hit, and passion, right? Those are the 4, I think. Yeah, that's what it is. So basically, you can see here how he gets 45% composure reduction. That means he's a breaker. So I don't think there can be any more breakers in the game. And this is a little weird one because this guy right here is, of course, his arms is a breaker, and it says that his thing is a breaker. So this guy is just static breaker. You can't really have a negative crit hit and then have a breaker arms in here, which I don't think was ever gonna happen in the game. Now for Sonic, you can see how he has a completely different one right here in the skill list. Penetrating Eye, guess what? That's crit. That's a crit affix. So guess what? It's a critical hit. He's a crit user, right? Now we don't currently have a full set of 4 SSR characters in the game, but that's what I can tell you. For example, if we go to Blizzard, crit, and now here's where I think I went wrong. I think because she's crit. Now if you look at Tatsumaki, she's also crit. So I don't think these really have to do with what's the next character can be, but I think it's going to be relatively unique, right? So this guy's a negative crit hit, you can see, with Overpower, and then Metal Knight is also a negative crit hit here with Overpower. So I think these ones can actually overlap a little bit with his SSR exclusive quality, but this is again one way to decide how you can choose how to build them, how to build these characters properly. Like you can see, this guy's just begging to get a negative crit, right? You just want to lower that guy's crit as much as you can. I have him at 85% here, so he has a relatively low crit hit. Same with Amai. I couldn't really get his crit hit low because I don't really have the best build on him. But yeah, there is that. Now you can always check these in game, right? I don't have to show all of these. This guy's a composure reducer, and I guess this is more of a beginner's tip right here. But this can really tell you a lot about the build of the character and how to tell what SSR character, type of SSR character you have. Now, I think there's a lot of crit hit characters. She's a crit hit. He's a crit hit. Tatsumaki's a crit hit. These 2 are negative crits. There's also a lot of breakers here as well. These 2, and then there's 3. What you would call it? Impassion users, right? So I guess there can only be 4, but you can clearly see how there's 2 of each type, right? Or not of each type, sorry, but these 2 overlap because they're both Overpower and they're both what's it called, crit hit. But as you can see, or not crit, sorry, composure break. But as you can see, this guy is composure, this guy's composure, yada yada. And I think these ones don't really relate too much about what this is, but just what type of character they want the build to be. So yes, they're going to balance it, but I don't think we can really predict which one's the next one is going to be. Maybe we can kind of guess, but it's not obviously confirmed with theories, right? So yeah, again, we're going to talk about the SRs now, how to tell what your SR one is. Again, I guess beginner friendly, but then again, some people may not know. You go to gameplay, you go to skill list, potential. You look here, penetrating eye level limit 1, mind reader level limit 1. What does that tell me? Crit hit. Genos is a crit hit character. Now you go to Saitama. What does it say here? 60% damage bonus, resolute attack, negative crit hit character. You want to build on his negative crit hit. You want to get to it as low as you can, right? Skill list here. Again, potential. What is this? 40% composure reduction stat. He's a breaker. Right, this guy right here, this guy, you go to his potential, and then you click on you see second one, composure reduction stat, breaker. And this is no coincidence. If you always look at it, it's always the second stat that tells you. It's always the second potential that tells you. Penetrating eye level limit 1. This guy is a crit. He's a crit character. Lily, we go to pot 2. What do we see? Composure reduction. Wow. These guys are all the same. This guy's a crit hit character. This guy is what? I'm going to assume a negative crit character. Yes, a negative crit character. This guy is a negative crit character. And so on and so forth. This guy's a crit character. And this guy is a crit character. Now you can see how there's only 3 types that we've seen so far of these guys. We haven't seen a passion type just yet. And we just haven't seen an impassioned type character just yet. Like, I would love to see them for the SR category, but I haven't seen them just yet. So who knows when they're going to come. But as you can see, how you can also tell him it's a passion character, I think it says negative crit damage 90%. 90%, not 75 like the negative crit hit ones. Right? 90%. So none of these guys right now have a 90% crit damage, but I would like to see one in the future. We could possibly be seeing, let's see here, assault. What is this? I'm gonna go here now, and arms. Again, I can predict these characters. Immunity, damage, immunity and damage. That's all we got. So if we get immunity damage, that means healer and composure break. So it's either healer and composure break, and maybe 1 or 2 of them can be negative crit hit. I'm gonna assume it's immunity that's gonna be negative crit hit for assault SR, because composure reduction is usually positive crit rate because of how many affixes you have to juggle, right? So there's that to note. So again, you can totally predict the characters here if you would really like to. I might make another character prediction video, because if you just do this like about calculating and all this kind of stuff, if you just like filter them through their top or the top impression arms and their type, you can find out everything. For example, you have to take a note, oh, this guy's an SSR, she's an SSR, she's an SSR, right? Healing, immunity, breaker. What does that mean? Damage. Do we have a negative crit hit user yet? Do you have a negative crit hit user yet? No, we don't. Okay, maybe we're getting a negative crit hit damage character, right? And I don't know if Janos would be a negative crit hit character. Who knows, right? And then that's how you can categorize all these characters, right? And that's how you can find out what kind of builds they're going to be. That's how you can identify what kind of builds and types your characters are. And I'm surprised some of these people don't know. Like, I remember starting off, and I guess I'm kind of talking to starter players here, but when I started off, I didn't know all too much about these things. I just thought, oh, their abilities, they're completely random, whatever. No, they're not. Everything in this game has a meaning. So there's something to note in every single statistic you see about your character. There's a reason for that, right? So yeah, I just like to talk about that with you guys and totally inform you guys if you didn't know already, and hopefully I gave you some tips that you didn't already know. But again, I'm gonna have to call this video quits now, and I appreciate you guys for watching all the way till the end, and thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.